From the Fox 10 Gulf Stream, this is Next Weather.
Well, here on Next Weather, since rain chances are about to rise, meteorologist Michael White has the latest about the drought conditions. Michael?
Hey, Nick, we got to enjoy a couple of great weeks over the holidays with weather that was fairly quiet, but now we're going to see things getting a little more active. But is that necessarily a bad thing? Well, we had gotten rid of the drought. Now the drought is wanting to start to pop back up a little bit. Let's show you the graphic. This came out today. It came out this morning at about 8 o'clock. And you can see the Drought Monitor shows that many spots, including Baldwin County, a good chunk of Mobile County, now getting back into a level 1, level 2 drought with that yellow and brown color. Then you have the gold and the red in north central Alabama. That's your level 3 and 4 drought. That's on a scale of 1 to 5. So we're starting to see drought conditions creeping back up. But the good news is we do have rainfall coming. We just have to be weather aware because there could be a few strong storms in the mix tomorrow night, and then another round coming next week on Monday night. This is off the this is the WPC, the Weather Prediction Center's average of what we could end up dealing with all the way through. This goes through Thursday morning of next week. And you can see down on the Gulf Coast, we might pick up 4 to 5 inches of rain along the I-10 corridor. Maybe even 3 to 4 inches of rain, or 3 to 4.5 up along US 84. So a good coverage of rain, a good swath of rain is going to head our way. We just don't want the severe weather threat that comes with it. But the one that's coming tomorrow night, the risk is going to be very low, as I'm sure Nick has already talked about or will talk about. But the risk Monday night, the odds are a little bit better, but we still got to get through the weekend to get some of the, see what more of the high resolution model data says with this. You usually got to be within 60 hours of an event to really have any sort of big read on it. And this is the temperature guidance. Now, this is not exactly what you'll see with our forecast on Fox 10. This is the NWS blend of models. It takes all the temperature models and averages them out. And you can see we don't really see a big spike in temperature for January. Most highs will be in the mid to low 60s. Most mornings, no extreme freezes, but you'll see mornings mostly in the 40s. A couple of really chilly mornings will show up. Tomorrow morning, upper 30s. Next Wednesday and Thursday, mid to upper 30s in the morning. But no signs of a hard freeze, but also no abnormally warm weather looking to move in. And that's good. We like some consistent cool on the Gulf Coast. As personally, I can't stand it whenever it's warm in December, January, February, and then you get like 2 days of like a hard freeze where it's 18, 19 degrees and then you're back to being warm. I'd rather it just be consistently cool. I'm sure a lot of you feel the exact same way. Well, I'll be back on Good Day Gulf Coast bright and early tomorrow. And I do hope you've had a wonderful Christmas holiday, a great New Year's holiday. This is my first Next Weather segment since the holidays have ended, and the first one for 2024. And I certainly hope it's a good one for you. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and you'll get a lot more detail from Nick coming up later here on Next Weather and tonight on Fox 10 News at 9. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Michael. And I want to go ahead and get into detail about this severe weather threat for Friday night for the Gulf Coast. Here is the outlook. This is the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. What are the chances of essentially severe weather? What is the definition of severe weather? Well, winds of 58 miles per hour or greater with a thunderstorm, thunderstorms producing tornadoes, or hail 1 inch in diameter or greater. Now, our main threats look to be the isolated tornado threat and the gusty wind threat, and mostly concentrated along the coast. The big picture right now, we are clear, but if we move off to the west, here's the system that's going to be causing this low spinning here out west, and that's going to be tracking down to the south over the next few hours. And this is a really fast moving system, so it gets in and out for us. Let's look at Futurecast. So here's the low in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. You can see showers, possibly some thunderstorms along the Texas coast. This is 6 a.m. on Friday. I want to draw your attention to the south of the red here. The red is our warm front. Typically north of a warm front, we have what we call overrunning. So we can have showers, but they're not what we call surface-based showers and storms, meaning essentially those surface-based storms are the ones that can produce severe weather. Literally, their cloud bases are closer to the ground. So think about a tornado. If you were a tornado, and you wanted to reach the ground. You'd want less distance to travel, so you'd want to be in a surface-based storm. You can actually see the forecast model showing what looked to be some kind of like supercell figures, but notice all of it's south in the Gulf of Mexico. For us, north of the warm front, we're just getting rain. This is around 5 o'clock. There's the rain moving into the Fox 10 viewing area. This is 10:15 on Friday. And I have this area highlighted south of the warm front. We call this the warm sector of a typical cyclone here, our low pressure system, and then a cold front, then a warm front. And this is really the area of severe weather potential because that's where the instability may be. To the north of that warm front, nada, just rain, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder. This all moves off to the east, and as I mentioned, it's a quick mover. So by Saturday evening, we're good. I mean, look at Saturday, 6 p.m., most of the Fox 10 viewing area dealing with calm conditions. I wanted to look at the instability forecast. This is with our graph model, and the legend is right here. And look very closely how we are in the bottom of the legend here, the very light colors. So really, this is a question of instability. It's kept almost all south of I-10, and that's the area where we could see the stronger thunderstorms if we get this instability. There are still some questions. So that is why this is such a marginal threat. We actually have decent shear parameters for this one. Once again, I don't know why it isn't populating, but essentially south of I-10. So this is I-10. That is the area that we'll be looking at for the possibility of stronger thunderstorms. Once again, all based on that instability. What about the tornado risk? Just breaking it down kind of threat by threat here. The Storm Prediction Center has this 2% area. Essentially think of it as the lowest end threat right along I-10, points south especially. That's if we get the instability to produce those storms, and a severe wind risk. We actually have a decent amount of I should say, shear in the atmosphere. So it's the question of can the thunderstorms take advantage of that shear. Now, we have a lot of wind in the atmosphere as well. We're going to have some marine issues out there. This is a gale watch, as you can see in the pink, and then a special marine, or excuse me, a small craft advisory for our coastal waters. Here's the detail on the gale watch for you. Friday, 2 p.m. to Saturday, 7 a.m. Definitely some swell out there with that low pressure system. Here's the forecast winds for us on Friday, and you can see our wind gusts, I should say, 32 miles per hour possibly in Fairhope, so around 25 to 30 miles per hour. And then later in the day, we could see some areas going 30 to 35 miles per hour, especially along the coast. See some of the forecast model numbers, 33 in Gulf Shores, 32 in Fairhope. All this dissipates, kind of the wind weakens, turns out of the north as we get later into the day on Saturday, a cooler wind coming into the area. Now, I'm not done because we have another rain chance. So here's that Friday rain chance. Then Saturday, Sunday, of course, nothing. Then another possible severe weather risk comes on Monday. And this is for a really large section of the central Gulf Coast here, all the way stretching from Texas to the Florida Panhandle. This is equivalent to about the slight risk, this level 2 slight risk. And we'll be watching this one very closely over the coming days. So I have a recommendation for you. You can see the QR code at the bottom, but then here's the bigger version of the QR code. Get the Fox 10 weather app. That way we can keep you updated. There's a great feature on the app where we can actually send videos to the app directly. They're very short form videos, so if you want rapid update information, we can post those immediately and it goes straight to the app. So it's a really great tool there, and it's just a great tool overall to have because you can also get alerts. So the possibility of some strong storms just along the coast on Friday. Otherwise, the rest of us getting rain, no big issues. Then the more substantial threat comes on Monday and Tuesday. We're keeping those rain chances quite high. What about temperatures? Well, no big issues there. We're talking 61 on Saturday, 59 on Sunday, a very nice day there. The 10-day outlook does indicate that we keep in this active pattern. Look at the cloud icons. Friday, Monday and Tuesday, and then as we get into Friday and Saturday here, it's an active jet stream sending multiple waves our way, meaning multiple systems that'll be coming through, and in between those systems, there's those partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies that are expected. All right, that's it for next weather for us today. We thank you so much for joining us.